Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's Sports Talk. My name is Tom Foster, together with Iris Dunham. And as I said at all of our shows, we try to highlight all the things that are going on here in the town of Clinton and some of the great sports activities that take place in the town. And what we try to do is highlight some of the sports that might not get as much publicity as the others. And so today we're going to be highlighting is golf. And with me are several of the golfers that have been on the team from Morgan. And I'd like to bring in our first golfer, and his name is Tyler. Tyler, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. What's your last name?
Greenhouse.
Greenhouse, okay. Now, Tyler, how did you get involved in golf, first of all?
I originally played baseball, but when COVID happens, I just got hooked to it immediately. Just started playing in junior year. It was my first year of golf.
That was your first year of golf?
Yep. Just picked it up, and I'm already this good.
You're right, that's good. Are you talking about what you look like or how you play your golf game?
Both. No, I don't know if I'll always be the best golfer, but I'm always the best dressed on the course.
That's great. I'm glad to see that. Sure. Now, tell me about how the golf works. Like, we just got through interviewing the tennis team, and they have a first seed, a second seed, and a third seed, and so on and so forth. And the golf team, first of all, how many players are on the team?
On our team, we got about 18, but we bring 5 to varsity matches.
And how's that 5 determined?
I guess just whoever's playing hottest at the time. You go through streaks. Sometimes you're playing good, sometimes you're playing bad, so you just try to stick it out, and if you're in a rough spot, you might get bumped down. But
so let's say we've got a match today, and you got another match coming up in 4 days, and you've made the top 5. Okay, is there a possibility the next week you might not be in the top 5? My question is, how do you determine from week to week who goes in the top 5? Do you have competition amongst yourself?
All the time. We have a deep team. We got 4 kids playing for the last spot at times, so they'll have playoffs. I know for going into the state tournament, we had a big playoff. We had like a 3-day series of matches between 2 kids who to come, so there's more competition within your team than almost outside of it, in a sense, directly.
Interesting. Now, the other thing is, you said you normally have 3 or 4 kids playing for that last spot, right? So does that mean the 4 spots above that are already predetermined for the year?
With our team, pretty much, we have 4 stronger players. I'm gonna put myself in that category. Whether
best dressed, you got to be in that category too, right?
Whether it's deserving or not. And like I said, yeah, we have 3-4 kids coming for that last spot in the 5.
Okay. So you've got 4 players that no matter how bad they play, they're going to always be in the top 4?
You'd hope so. None of us played bad enough to the point where we got booted out. That would be pretty bad for my confidence. But
exactly. And for the team's confidence as well, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't want to shake things up too much.
Now, the interesting thing about this being a team sport, so to speak, in tennis, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they have doubles. What about in your sport? If you have a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, how does the scoring work in terms of does one go against one and the other team? How does it actually work?
Whether you are the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, or even the 5, it's irrelevant. It just depends on each match. So if you're the 5 and you play really good, and you're the 1 and you play really bad, just because you're the 1 doesn't mean your score's there. So the 5 players, and you take their 4 best scores.
Great. And so each week, it doesn't matter whether the 1 plays good. If the 5 plays great, then that still gives you a good shot at winning the match.
Each team takes their 4 best scores, and you just put those heads ahead.
Great. Well, listen, I want to thank you very much. And you're a senior?
Well, now I'm not even a Morgan student.
No, yeah. Well, then we can't interview you then, John. But you graduated this year, just recently, right?
Yep.
And are you going to be playing college golf?
No.
Okay. And where are you going to go to college?
I'm just gonna wing it, man. I'm just winging life.
Right. That's good. Well, hey, listen. Good luck winging it.
All right. Thank you for interviewing.
Okay. All right. Our next player coming out. From what I understand, this is the captain.
Yes.
Okay. And your name?
Nick Schmidt.
Now, Nick, what number did you play this year?
I played the 1 for most of the year, and then CJ over here played 1 for a little bit of the year also.
Now, when you play the match, a lot of times when you're playing in basketball, football, something like that, you play in your home court.
Of course.
Now, Clinton Country Club, we're here today, the beautiful backdrop in back of us. Do you actually have a home field advantage, so to speak, when you play at Clinton as opposed to another school?
I so to speak, because we do have a lot of blind shots, and I feel like just knowing the course and knowing the distances of where like some water can be can really play a factor, because I see some kids that we play against take driver on some holes when you really shouldn't. So I think that just knowing the course and overall just really puts a bigger advantage to a home field.
So when you see your player taking out his driver and you know he shouldn't be doing, do you guys just sort of giggle a little bit and say, no, this is not what he should be using? And I'm sure you don't bring it up to him, right?
No, we actually do tell them, like, you shouldn't really use driver in this hole, but some of them are just take it and go for it, and it doesn't always end up all too well.
Then afterwards, you say, "Nice job. We told you so," right?
Yep.
Now, how long have you been involved in golf?
I've been involved since my freshman year. I really only started picking it up my freshman year, and I was not good at all. But over the years, I really put in the time and dedication to the sport, and I feel like I've progressed as a golfer. And I also look forward to hopefully carrying on to the college level.
That's great. Now, what do you do for preparation? I mean, do you go out and practice every day? I mean, what's the routine you take during the week to really get ready for the match?
Well, before the season overall, I did go to the range a lot, and I felt like that really dialed in my swing. And also just leading up to a match, just getting out there before for at least 15 minutes, just going through every single club, just making sure everything's all right. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Now, remind me again, how many kids on this year's team?
There's 18 this year.
Wow. And they only 5 qualify for the matches.
Yep.
But as I was being told, only the last 5th spot is one that's actually competitive. The 4 top seeds are already pretty much predetermined. So does that what does it do for the confidence of those other players? You got 18 on the team. Do they play JV, or is there other types of things they do during the course of matches?
So they go out and practice. Usually they play behind us just to get reps in. But it also is really nice to have a lot of depth on this team because it brings out the competitive aspect and not just having like a set of guys. Being able to compete, and we always have playoffs, which is really funny. And there's a new guy every single week depending on how they do.
Oh, that's great. Now, what happens like number 1 and number 2 gets sick? Do you automatically just move up the chart and now you've got 2 guys qualifying? How does that work if one of you gets sick the day of a match?
So as I said, we have a lot of depth.
Yeah.
So most of us can really do step in. And I feel like our 1 through 4 are really like the same player overall. And I feel like, we've had the most depth this year than we had in many years, so it's not much of an issue.
And how'd you guys end up this year?
I feel like we achieved our goals this year, finishing second in shorelines,
Right.
which is what we wanted to do. And I feel like we had a really good season this year after losing our best player, Jason Cullen, last season. I think we were all able to step up and really put in the time and get the work in and just go out there and have a fantastic year.
Now, during a match, do you play all 18 holes or do you play 9 holes?
Just 9 holes.
Just 9 holes?
Yep.
Okay. Because I noticed some of the scores and say, wow, he shot 41 for 18 holes. That's a pretty good score. He's got to go on the pro circuit right away. So you only do 9 holes, right?
Yeah, just for our tournaments, for like our shoreline and state tournament, then we do 18 holes.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Okay. And when let's say you're playing here at Clinton and you're playing 9 holes, did you do the back or the front? Or which ones you get to pick each match?
Usually we do the front, but occasionally when the front is close, we go to the back. But we only have done that like once or twice so far.
And now, in terms of next year, how's the team look for next year?
I feel like we got a lot of young players. As I was saying, like those players that are fighting for those spots. I think they'll be able to put in the time like we did this year, and they will really step up, I believe.
Now, will you seniors come back and sort of give them some coaching during the season?
Oh, of course. Our senior captain last year came back like for almost every single match, and we'll be back.
Now, you have the team, but you also have individual competition? In other words, can one of you qualify for the state as an individual as opposed to having to go with a team, or is it strictly team?
No, it's strictly team. Like for our state and shoreline tournaments, we added it up. So it's the top 4 or the lowest 4 scores, and it basically just goes off of that. But I mean, for personal awards, like Drew over there and CJ, they both won second team all shoreline, which is pretty cool to see.
That's great. Well, listen, thank you very much. Now, you play any other sports?
Thank you. I do play football and then golf.
Great. Well, that's good. Now, this is one of the questions I was also going to ask Drew, being a football player. You know, this is a team sport, but yet it's mental toughness because you're really playing yourself, right? Yeah. And another thing is when I attend the games, there's a lot of cheerleading going on, and the fans are behind you. How is that different when you're playing golf and there's nobody, a couple of people following you? How does that affect you mentally?
Well, I try to keep conversation with the kids that I play with because I just try to keep it fun. I'm not the type that can really keep it quiet. I like to have a fun time out there and just try to play good golf and have fun with everyone.
Well, that's great. Well, congratulations. Good luck next year. Okay, our next player coming in is obviously CJ. They talked about you a lot here, CJ. Now, CJ, what grade are you in right now?
I'm in 10th, going into 11th.
Wow. So you're a sophomore. You were a sophomore. Now you're going to be a junior, and you're one of the top golfers in the school.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. And what did you play at this year? 1 or 2 or?
I played 2 for the first half of the year and went to 1 for the second half.
So you jumped over Nick, huh?
Yeah.
That's great. Now, when did you first get involved in golf?
I mean, I've been playing for about 7 years. I started doing golf camp over here when I was 8, So I've been in it a while. I've used to play baseball, so I got the swing. You know, it's all connected somehow.
Yeah, for some reason, I went to college with a lot of hockey players, and boy, they've definitely seemed like that transitions very simply into golf with that slap shot.
Yep.
That movement.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if you're too young, but there's a player that was in my vintage called Billy Guerin. He went on to play in the pros, and he was also like a scratch golfer. So you can see how there's transitional movement amongst the things that you do.
Yeah.
Now, when you play, from a mental perspective, we asked Nick how he does it. How do you do it? How do you focus and keep all the distractions out?
I like Nick said, I like to talk to my opponents. It takes some stress off. It's not as like intense, I guess, and yeah. I think I play better when I get to know them a little bit better.
Do you ever try to jinx them as they're going to putt? Miss.
No, I don't do that.
Matter of fact, I was at the U.S. Open one time, and one of the players wasn't on the tour, but there was a very critical putt, and he screamed just as the guy was about to putt, and they threw him off the course. So we don't want to see that happen here. Now, what about the Clinton Country Club? Do you enjoy playing this course?
Oh yeah, I love it. I practice here about like every day. So
Yeah, I noticed when we got here, you were over there practicing on the golf range, and it's something is this something you'd like to pursue after high school?
yeah, if I'm good enough to go D1, we'll see. But yeah.
That's great. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and we'll be following you throughout your career. Got 2 more years to watch you play, and if you're already at number 1 and number 2, it means you're going to be number 1 next year all the time, right?
Yep.
Okay, lots of good luck.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and last but not least, we're being Drew Nye. And Drew,
How's it going?
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Now, Drew, how did you get started in golf?
You know, I played a couple junior leagues when I was younger, but I kind of left the clubs at home throughout my middle school years. But I picked them back up when I went to high school because I didn't really have a strong spring sport. So I came to freshman year and I'm like, okay, I want to try to get better at golf. And when I picked it up, it was a blast. With Coach Bergman, it was just a fun time with my friends too.
Now, I think your father's a golfer as well, right?
He is. He played a lot of golf back in his day, and he was one that really convinced me. He said, he sat me down in 8th grade. He's like, you got to play a spring sport, so figure out what you're going to play. And I went with golf, because he had a lot of experience with, his brothers too. My uncle played college golf places, so I wanted to pick it up. So.
Did your father play college golf?
He did not. He did not play college golf, but just
Who's the better golfer, you or your dad?
he used to get me, but with this year and like the way I've been playing lately, I could take him definitely.
Now this is, we'll make sure he's going to see this on.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Peter, this is a challenge from your son Drew. We're going to see you on the golf course. Maybe we should have a father-son match.
We might have to make it happen, yeah.
Maybe we'll have to throw some money on the line, right?
Oh, dude, I'm down for some money.
Absolutely. Now, Drew, you play 3 sports, and obviously you've had success in all of those sports. In football, you went on to be All-State in football.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And what about your football career? From what I understand, you're going to be going to Oberlin College?
Yeah, I will be attending Oberlin College, and I'm really excited to see where that's going to take me at an athletic standpoint and even academically too. So it's a great school, great coach that recruited me, and it's going to be a whole different experience.
Sure.
And a new life out there. But I'm ready for that challenge and see where my athletic ability will take me. So.
And it's interesting, as I was saying to one of the other golfers, is that one of the things I really appreciated in doing the games this year, the basketball games, is the enthusiasm of the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I really appreciated was when the girls' team was playing, you guys would come out and support them. And that camaraderie you guys must have, and I see it when you're talking over here on the sideline with the golfers. Is that something you're going to miss?
Yeah, no, 100%. Even last year with COVID, not having those fans, it was just sporting events were just not the same. This year bringing back, all the fans in the stands, and it was just like it was a blast to see them, cheering for us in the dog pound we call it. It was like nothing else in the Shoreline, and to play in front of the best fans in the Shoreline was just something that I'll never forget. So the fans just bring that energy, which it makes me perform well. So.
Now, when you're in football, do you hear the fans as much as you would when they're close to the court in basketball?
Yeah, no, that we talk about that a lot. See, basketball, they're right there. They're right behind your ear.
Right.
So they actually can make a big difference in your game. Football, you're out in the field. It's just you and your opponent. You don't listen to that much. I do not hear the crowd at all in football. Whereas basketball, someone says something, blah blah blah. It can really get in your head. So you got to block out that noise in basketball. So.
Because I imagine in football, being the quarterback, you're basically the field general, and you got to concentrate a lot of different things, how the linebackers are, what the defensive backs are doing.
Yeah.
So your mental preparation for football, especially being the quarterback, has got to be pretty intense as opposed to basketball and maybe golf.
It is intense. Each week with my football guys, we just lock in, and even before the games, there's not much talking. You'll hear in the locker room. It's silent. It's war basically. We're heading into battle, and even like I said, I can't even hear the fans in football. Maybe it is loud, but we're just dead focused on the next play and what we're gonna do. So it's just me and the field general just locked in. So it's just I block all that noise out, and it's silence when I'm on the field.
Now you had a new coach this year, and you guys ended up with a pretty good season.
Oh, definitely. I mean, far better than my expectations. We got beat up week 1 against a very good Cromwell team that won the state championship. But after that, we went on to win 7 straight games, and that confidence that we had was a confidence that we've never had before playing the sport. And I think, this Coach Sullivan did a great job with us. He put us in a position to win, and we did the rest. And his offensive philosophy was very similar to my dad's that he used, and we had a ton of playmakers on this team, and we took full advantage of it, which it was a blast.
Yeah, besides you, the other kid that really impressed me, I called him the Great Garbanski.
Yeah, Garrett Garbinski. Yeah, he was an animal out there. He could play any position. We could say. He could play quarterback, running back, receiver. Throw him in that lineman. He'll be able to do it. But Garrett was a stud. He's an all-state baseball player as well, and I'll definitely miss him throwing to that guy. So
You'll put him anywhere in the field. Yeah. And you mentioned your dad, so you have a legacy through your dad for golf, and your father used to be the football coach at Morgan.
Yeah, he used to be my coach.
How was that having your father as a coach?
Yeah,
I mean, did you go home and talk about it over the dinner table?
It's funny because we never used to talk about football at home. He didn't want to talk about it. It's the one time where we can spend time with our family. Without football. But they say the hardest position on the field is the coach's son, which it was tough having him as a coach. Not much was said between us, but he was happy for Coach Sullivan to step in, and he was happy for me to be able to be coached by someone else, and it all worked out too as senior year, having a great senior year with my guys without him being the coach. But yeah, he was missed, but it was right. It was the right thing to do. So.
Well, I'm really excited about this upcoming football season because we are going to film the games. I just wish you were going to be there to have us follow you because your dad's going to do the games. And I'm really looking forward to that because being a former coach and of Morgan, some great insight into the sport, and I think he's going to do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, no, that should be interesting to watch. I'm definitely going to have to tune into that one. So.
We had some good times during the basketball season together. Now you play football. You're working out tough. Explain how the working out and getting ready for football compares to then you transition immediately into basketball.
It was tough. The whole focus on preparation in football, whole different game than basketball. See, we went to the state playoffs for football. So, the next day we actually had basketball practice right there.
Really?
And it was tough transitioning to basketball, not really playing much during the fall because of my focus level on football. So, and we were put into a game like a week after when we were done with football. And I was rusty at basketball, definitely, but it took some time to get used to. And, the preparation versus basketball and football, it's a whole different thing. Whereas in football, you only have 10 games and you have to prepare for a whole week. Where basketball, you can have 3 games in a row at some time. And but that's the beauty of football, where you only have 10 games, so cherish every game. So.
Now, what about the mental preparation in terms of football versus basketball? Do you have to change your mindset when you're going because you're the leader in the football team, and now you come over to basketball? How's that mental transition?
The mindset, is always just to win, right. And it's not a huge challenge. I like to honestly be the quarterback on the basketball court right. too. Just dishing to everyone, making the right reads, making the passes. So it is a very different sport, but also there's a lot of similarities that go to it, which is the beauty of it. But the mental aspect, you do have to prepare a lot more for football, like I said, than you do on the basketball court. But I love both of them, and they've been a huge part of my high school career.
Sure.
So.
And you said when you're on the basketball court, and you do feel the intensity of the fans. Is that correct?
Oh, definitely. Last year as a junior, it was dead in that gym. Like it was silence, and you couldn't really feed off their energy. But bring us section like the dog pound in the gym, and it's a whole different environment. There's nerves that go into it, but it's fun and exciting. That championship game when we went to Shorelines, that's the games that you want to play in, and I was definitely excited for that. And to feed off their energy, there's nothing like that adrenaline rush. So.
And I know that I did all your home games this year, starting right after the beginning of the season, and you could that was the thing I really enjoyed about this. See the intensity and see the support for the kids, and I think, as I told you before we started, I think that Cromwell game was one of the best games I ever did the play-by-play, and that's 25 years of doing games. What kind of feeling was that? You know, the number one team in the state, they're unbeaten, and you guys come up with that unbelievable win. How did that feel?
Yeah, that game will definitely go down, as one of the best games I've ever been in. Cromwell section coming up to them having a whole section versus ours, that blackout, that night is unforgettable. And, coming down to the last second shot, if that goes in, they have a chance to win versus, we got lucky with that miss, but
that key rebound.
Oh yeah, I know. It was a defensive battle, and that feeling when they rushed the court and we just knocked off a 17-0 team at the time to break their undefeated season. It was definitely one of the feelings, and that's why we love that sport. So
that's great.
That's how we play it.
Now you come off that intensity, you come off that fan support, and then all of a sudden you start golf, and you don't get that same intensity, you don't get the fan support. So again, it's a change in your mindset. So how do you approach that?
Golf, it is a whole different approach and game. But you go out and golf and you meet new friends and you meet new people from other towns, which is another reason why I love that sport too. Which you go out and you just play in a game and you meet new friends. Football and basketball, you don't tend to meet new friends, or you don't really gain friends. You gain enemies. In golf, it's different. It's polite. It's a gentleman's game, and you get to share and laugh with your new friends out there. So that's why the golf's really different. So.
And it seemed like I watched you guys during the basketball season. You guys actually hang out with each other, you like each other, and you get joke around with each other. And it seems like you had a real sense of camaraderie. It looks like you had the same thing in football.
Yeah, football too, and all three sports. Our chemistry at Morgan was unmatched. And we were always joking around golf, basketball, and football, which that's why I'm gonna miss it so much, because the relationships that I built with my teammates was amazing. So
yeah, I was watching you guys over on the sideline here, and definitely getting a kick out of each other and hang out with each other both in the season and out of the season.
Oh yeah, on and off the field, course or court. We always like to hang out with each other. So it's a great friendship we got. It's my boys.
Yeah, those are the boys. All the boys. That's great. Oh. They all giving you the love you sign. Now, how soon do you have to start college?
So I go August 8th. So yeah, beginning of August, which it's early, but I'm excited for it.
So have you already started working out for football?
Yeah, they gave us a packet, and
they
gave us a whole dieting and workout plan that will follow. So, but my transition into a college athlete is going to be tough, but I'm ready.
And you're going to miss this kind of camaraderie.
Oh, I'm going to miss it.
You're going to miss it, yeah, because it was like, it's. I think it's unmatched, because I've been around high school athletes and college athletes, and what I've seen here in Clinton is unbelievable. This is a special town.
It is, definitely, and the community at Morgan is something special, and the personalities that these guys have, it's been fun. So.
And I wonder, and I hope that you're going to be able to find that same type of camaraderie in college.
Oh, definitely. It'll be different, but I'm gonna have to find it.
But your guys are still going to be supporting you. You're going to be supporting them.
No, they're gonna have to come up to some games maybe in Ohio, and that'll be fun to see them there. Supporting me just like they did in high school. So.
Now, where is Oberlin?
It's actually a town in Oberlin, Ohio.
No, I knew it was a town, but whereabouts? What's the closest big city?
Oh, it's like 30 minutes from Cleveland.
Oh,
so
from Cleveland. Okay.
yeah, upstate. So. Yeah.
And of course, now you got your brother Jack, who's going to be playing football this year. Have they decided what position Jack's going to play in football?
Jack's a receiver and corner. So, and yeah, he's been working out, trying to get ready for next season. We lost like 15 seniors this year for football, so they're going to have to, replace those seniors. And it's not going to be easy, but, Jack's ready to take over that team and, legacy of Morgan football.
And how do you replace an all-state quarterback? That's going to be pretty that's going to be pretty tough for Coach Sullivan.
No, I know. I mean, our backup's Tyler Baldwin. I've been talking to him like, this is your team now. He's a junior now. He's entering his junior year, so he has 2 more years. And just stay calm. And I'm always there to help and work out with him. And he's gonna do a great job, I feel like. So.
Well, Drew, hey, listen, it's been really a pleasure interviewing your teammates, your golfers. We wish you guys the best of luck. And Drew, it's been a real pleasure watching you in the different sports, and I wish you the best of luck. And I know your dad he'll be with me on Friday nights, and hopefully you'll get to see some of the games in Oberlin. And now you'll be starting as a freshman. Now, what's the outlook in terms of being able to be the quarterback of the varsity team?
At Oberlin?
Yeah.
No, not freshman year.
Oh, come on.
No, I mean that's always the goal, but they got a senior quarterback right now that's been in the system for a couple of years now, and I'll take his role, potentially sophomore year to lean on him and for him to develop me throughout my freshman year.
So you'll be on the varsity as a freshman.
Yeah. I'll hopefully get some varsity reps, but no, it's gonna be different, and I'm ready for the challenge.
Great. Well, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My best to your family and your dad, Pete, who's been a real supporter of me and all the things we were doing at the high school. And we look forward to doing some of those basketball and football this upcoming season. So thanks again, Drew, and good luck, and good luck to the rest of your players.
All right, thanks for coming.
Okay,
Thank
be
you.
good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sports Talk. And we hope you enjoyed tonight's show, talking to our golf team and some of the players. And we hope you come in for another show. And again, if you have any questions or comments about the show or things you'd like us to cover, you can reach us at iris.dunham at clintonpublic.net. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again on another upcoming show. Good night.